I want to go over the optional titles that we can like name this.
Okay.
Is it like living life whitewashed versus Asian washed? That's one.
Okay.
Would you rather be a whitewashed Asian or an Asian washed white person?
Which is which?
Yeah, is it not obvious?
I'm the whitewashed Asian and you're the Asian washed white person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Or we should have been swapped at birth. So
I think that's cool.
We can work towards it.
Yeah.
Guys, today I'm interviewing my very good friend, Emma Fuller.
Yeah.
She was the president of our college. So right now we're in Emma's apartment. Thank you for having us. The last time that I was in your apartment, I woke up face down in like 2 inches of water in her bathtub.
So funny.
I brought like 3 of my friends over and we're like, we're just gonna have a cute little girls' night. Let's get dressed up, have a couple drinks. We go to K-Town.
Yeah. Mama Lion.
The consensus is we may or may not have been roofied. I don't know.
We might have been just dumb bitches that drink too much.
Maybe.
Or we were roofied. The thing about it is, like, for me, like, blacking out is, like, more normal because I'm just a stupid bitch.
Yeah.
But for Clarisse, like, it's not as normal for her to black out. And, like, it is kind of rare that 4 of us blacked out all at once.
Especially because one of us barely drank.
Yeah. And it was and the blackout felt very hazy. Like, it didn't feel like the normal.
The way that we woke up and all of us felt like
Slow motion.
I felt like I don't know.
Yeah. So anyways.
It just felt wrong.
And I was, like, apparently wearing Clarisse's pants.
You were wearing my pants. One of my friends.
Pants off.
I was in the tub. I was face down in water. I don't know how I didn't drown. I did get a sinus infection though. It was really nasty. Crazy.
That was dark times.
And like we don't do that anymore.
No.
We actually don't do that anymore.
No.
So for that
Not
to
purposely.
happen,
That's for sure.
that was crazy. That night was fucked up. But tonight we're gonna have a good old innocent time and film this beautiful podcast. Let's get into it. All right, Emma and I both met in our first year of uni, and we started out as party girls and somehow ended up as very driven, career-oriented women. Emma helped start a company from the ground up. I went into nursing and then pivoted into arts and media, and now we're both here, still figuring out life and figuring out how to be self-made, just badasses all around, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
When we first became friends, like, we were close, like, right off the bat because obviously we wanted to party.
Yeah.
And, like, there weren't a lot of people like us there.
Yeah.
But I feel like throughout the years, as I've gotten to know you more, like, there are just crazy parallels between our lives. And I always talk about how I feel very alone in my upbringing because I was essentially adopted by my grandparents. I'm, like, this white kid growing up in an Asian community.
Yeah.
And although that's beautiful, like, not many of my peers could relate to me.
Yeah.
And you're someone who had pretty much like the exact same upbringing but flipped. Like, you were adopted in China by 2 white parents and you were like the only Asian kid. Well, you know.
Literally no, I was the only Asian kid.
You were like the only Asian
kid
growing
in
up
my town.
And your town is
Marin County,
San Francisco.
Yeah. The thing is, San Francisco has a huge Chinese population.
Yeah.
Marin County is like literally like my high school had like 1 other Chinese girl and she was also adopted from China.
See, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so niche.
So niche.
And I was like one of the only, I swear, I don't know another mixed kid in my class.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My high school had a ratio of like 96% Vietnamese, my graduating class.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, literally like the same upbringing, but swap it.
Yep. And we were both raised by older people.
Yeah.
So.
How old are your parents now?
75 and 68.
Wow, yeah. I mean,
or 74 and 68.
74, 68. My grandparents are like, well, my grandma's no longer here, but my grandpa's like 85, 86.
Yeah. We were always just like got along, right?
Yeah.
But we didn't talk about like deeper identity stuff. And then when we started talking about it, we realized we have very similar identities.
Yeah.
Just kind of opposite, flipped, but same feelings, same struggles, same confusions. So.
Yeah. The things that you struggle with and experience as a child, to me, I don't believe you ever stop like experiencing that throughout your life. Yeah. Even though it's not as prevalent in front of your face, it's like, it just lives in your nervous system.
Yeah.
And so if someone met you today, Miss Operations Manager.
Director of Operations.
Oh, my bad. Okay, if someone met you today.
Yeah.
Director of Operations, just background, Emma is Director of Operations at a drink company that started, 2-3 years ago?
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Future author.
Yes.
Brand builder. What would they not have guessed about you when you were still 18?
So many people, like, from the outside, I feel like, think of me as a certain way of, like, not very serious, like,
Party girl.
Seriously, like, everyone at UP was like, she's just, like, this, like, party girl, like, like, stupid girl.
Oh, no, you got arrested.
Yeah, and I got arrested by the campus safety, but everyone,
That's
like,
badass.
everyone, like, thought that I was just this joke, right? Like, that I was just not serious, and whatever. So I came to you. We both came when we were 17, almost 18. So I feel like the people there just thought that I was like not motivated, didn't want anything bigger, just like not level-headed, didn't have my head screwed on straight, was still growing up, right? But I think like during the whole time that I was also like that, people started learning, like Endemo, our friend, she was like, whoa, like when I first met you, like you seemed like this like just airhead of a person, and then she realized that she was like, but you're actually like, people start to catch on really quickly that like I care so much about my grades, I care about like getting involved, I care about like the bigger picture. And so like Endemo is like, you're literally like the definition of work hard, play hard. So I feel like my appearance and the way that I come across to new people think that I'm not serious, and then once like you get to know me and like you start hearing me talk or like being in class with me, that persona kind of switches. And I think it's maybe something where I'm like trying to like be personable and trying to like mold myself to be someone that people would want, like to like be friends with people. But then on like when you get deeper or like when you get to know me, you realize I'm a very serious person, like I'm a very reserved person, like I'm a very I don't know. So
I always knew you were work hard, play hard. Like I remember when you were running for president and you were just big bossing it every single day, like talking to people, handing out flyers, like posting on social media, on top of like double majoring and partying. Like you've always been a badass.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've always just done it all. Like I've always like overcompensated in every way. Like so it's like overcompensating in like the partying aspect, which isn't really me at all. And I kind of been learning about like I did that to fit in because I've always tried to fit in life. And like I honestly don't like partying at all. Like it makes me feel kind of unsafe in my nervous system, but I do it so I can like fit in, or because it's like something that I think like I should have liked, you know? And I do like it, but it's something that I forced myself to do. It wasn't a natural thing for like me to want to like start drinking and like doing that. Like that's just what I thought was like college and what I felt like I needed to do. But
that's exactly how I felt about partying too.
Yeah. I think that's when we became like got out of like the party friends and into actual friends, because we both kind of saw that in each other of like, oh, like this girl is like we did some crazy shit. Like we literally like tried to be we were both very like immature and dumb to be that way, but we weren't actually that. And there were parts of us where it was like we were very serious, knew what we were doing, but then I think other parts where we were screaming like we just have to like be crazy. And so that's kind of, we fed off of each other like that. So
do you think that being adopted has something to do with you feeling like you were overcompensating?
Oh yeah. I think it's less, it could be because of like the abandonment side and not being chosen, and like there's something in my body that is like wants to be chosen, so I have to overcompensate. But I think more than ever, the more relevant side that I understand more is like just growing up, like being like the only Asian kid, like never really like chosen by default ever. Like I had like a PE teacher that like all the like little blonde haired blue eyed girls, like she would be like, great job, like all this, and then like when she saw me it was like, you're like fat and ugly. And so I feel like growing up, like not being the default chosen person, like I always felt like I needed to do more to like be chosen, like in a way that is so like stupid that no one even it's not even chosen, but it's like small stuff like getting like positive reinforcement like in PE, or like being like a teacher's favorite. Like I don't think I was ever the teacher's favorite until I was way older. Like but when I was little, like teachers like they liked like the blonde haired blue eyed girls. So I think that's the bigger part of like just my upbringing, is like being so like looks different,
like other
is what like makes me like feel like I think now to overcompensate for everything, of like making sure that like I've worked hard for like what I have, or like making sure that like I'm
so it's not just the fact that like you were not able to grow up with your birth parents and you had to go through adoption, but it's also the fact that you were the only Asian kid in your community. You know, I had the opposite of that. And it like, it's terrible. It's not terrible. This is just the truth. Like the white privilege that I have had growing up, being one of the only white or like mixed kids in my community, I always got so much attention. Not just like from my teachers and things like that, but from
that's so interesting.
But like from my family. Because I mean, the way that the idea that like white features, white people are like superior has been ingrained throughout history for centuries, right? And it's like, even in my own family, I only know my Vietnamese side. I've never met my white side at all. But like my Vietnamese family, out of like all the cousins, out of everybody, I was always the favorite. I was always the prettiest. I was always just put on such a pedestal because of my whiteness. The privilege that exists because of that is absolutely insane.
That is so crazy to think about, because I can't even like imagine that, but I've seen it. Like I've seen it like through other people of just like that being the beauty standard of just like because like you have like bigger eyes and like your nose isn't as like flat, like it's like you have like a wow, that is so crazy to think about.
It's crazy
for me.
And like even though I received so much privilege because of my whiteness, like growing up, all I wanted to be was Asian.
Wow.
I swear to fucking God, like as an elementary school kid, I was like, I wish I could just be fully Asian. Right. I hate the fact that I'm half white.
Was it because you think like a majority of like your classmates were? So it's like you always want to like
100%.
Like 100%. You want to fit in, like you want to be what the majority is.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't believe in reverse racism, but like kids would be like, why the fuck are you so pale? What's up with your freckles?
Yeah.
I had a nickname throughout elementary school. It was White Onion. This dumbass kid named Alex coined that, and it just like stuck throughout elementary school, and it really bothered me.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah, that's really.
I was receiving a lot of praise because of it, but also I truly just wanted to be Asian. Like everyone that I loved, everyone that I looked up to was just Asian.
Yeah.
I had no connection to my white side. Yeah. So I was like, why the fuck am I even white? Like, what is this good for?
Yeah. I can't even imagine like wanting to be Asian. Like that is just crazy.
I can't even imagine just wanting to be white.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, dude, we grew up in completely flipped societies.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That is crazy to think about.
Yeah. Wow.
And I think what's crazy too is because we grew up in flipped societies, and both of us have very similar like traits of like driven, like we've talked about, like very driven. Like I feel like both of us have always wanted more in life as well. Like than our friends. Stopped. We always want some. Like both of us have wanted something bigger in life. Like we've done alternative things, always done more than like a lot of other people. And so it's interesting to like grow up in swapped perspectives, but still have the same types of characteristics and ambitions.
Yeah.
But I think it's just to show like if you grow up being the odd one out, it builds so much character.
It builds a lot of character.
It does. Like whether it's like reverse racism or like what yeah.
This goes into the next topic I wanted to bring up, but it's like I wasn't fully technically adopted.
Yeah.
But I feel like I was in a way like absorbed into
or like a transplant or whatever it's called.
I don't know how to describe it. Like my grandparents basically adopted me. Like my mom was in my life, but she was in and out for this or that reason.
Yeah.
No hate to mom, I love you, but it was a little tough growing up, and I never met my dad. So yeah, it's like I was adopted by my own family, and I got to grow up in a culture that was mine. That is half of me. Yeah. It became all of me.
Right.
But like, yeah, what you touched on, like feeling other and feeling sort of like in a way like the black sheep.
Yeah.
I feel like we just learned how to make it our superpower. Like I never want to fit in. The idea of fitting in literally is like scary to me. I want to be an outlier. I want to be doing things that are scary and different, and I want to be like giving it my all to build my dream life and this and that.
Yeah.
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 Does some of it come from a sensation of like lack and abandonment? Maybe. But I'm going to use it to my benefit regardless.
Yeah. No, I think that that's true. And like another thing is like like being able to adapt. I feel like when like you've come from similar backgrounds that we have, where it's like kind of like thrown into like a culture that doesn't fully feel like ours, there's like a lot of like adaptation that you don't realize that we're doing. And this is so crazy to me because one of my advisors in college, he like gave me this compliment that I never thought about until like later. I just thought it was like a really nice compliment, but he told me, he was like, one of the biggest things that I admire about you is that you're able to be in a room with like administration executives, people that are 5-6 times your age or whatever. Maybe not 5-6. People that are
like maybe 100.
people that are like double your age, like educational working professionals, and you're able to like build those connections with them and really like stand your ground and relate to them and just not feel like you're any different, right? And then he's like, but then you're able to like lead your executive board where there's people that are younger than you and people like your peers. And then he's like, and then I've seen you with your friends where like you act like you're like 12 years old. So he was like, it's so cool that you're able to read the room wherever you go and adapt to that. And I was like, thank you so much. Like, great compliment. Yeah. But I never like thought deeper into it of why that was the case for me until recently. And it's kind of what you're saying where it's like, because like you've like growing up the black sheep, growing up so different, like you're forced to adapt to whatever it is. And so for me, I guess this might be the opposite of you because you said that you don't ever really want to fit in. Like now you like want to use it to your advantage. But I think for me, like I always wanted to fit in. So I became so good at it. Like I'm like so good at just like adapting to different people, not like fitting in, but like being able to talk to so many different people and like be relatable and genuine. Like not anything that I'm not, but just like switch, which is interesting. Because I feel like you're kind of similar. Like, you're able to get along with a lot of people, and that's not like a trait that everyone has. You know, like I have a lot of friends that like have a hard time like relating to other people, other cultures, other ages, right? Like it's not comfortable to like meet a lot. Like, I mean, all of my circle of people, most of them like all were raised and only have like a white circle, so they're not able to. It's more difficult for them to be in other environments of other cultures, and that's not to say anything talked down to them, but yeah, it's just different.
It's all just like lack of experience.
Yeah.
And you know, dude, this makes me think about how I chose Portland to go to school to because I had never been around white people before.
Yeah, that's it.
Literally, like, I love where I grew up. I grew up in Westminster, California. It's literally called Little Saigon, predominantly Vietnamese. I love it because I was so immersed in my culture. But I felt like it was such a setback because I was not introduced to, like, other races, other ethnic backgrounds. I mean, like, I was close to Santa Ana, so there's a lot of Mexican kids, but I'm like, I need to experience diversity. Yeah. Because otherwise, how am I going to become this person that can talk to anybody and, like, walk into rooms confidently and be able to relate to people? Like, that was my ultimate goal. Yeah. I'm like, I want to be able to experience the world fully and not be fucking afraid. Yeah. So I chose Portland. Portland's kind of diverse. It's mainly white. Yeah. But I
think at the time that our freshman year, it was like 40% people of color, 60% white. Yeah. So that's majority white. Yeah. That's still majority.
But, like, see, I had never been around white people. I had never been around white people. Like,
lucky you.
Burping again. Fuck. My first, like, real relationship, no names. My first real relationship.
He just say his first name.
Bleep. Anyways, he was white.
The name on this page.
Him and his family were white, but he had grown up in my community, and he was like 1 out of 3 white kids at the school. So, anyways, I still felt like I didn't really have much experience with white people, and so I'm like, okay, because I got into universities like around my area. I could have saved money, had a probably like more fun time because UP was.
It's not like the fun school.
It's small. It's religious. It's okay, but that's not my tea.
4,000 kids.
It's not it. It wasn't it. Anyways, but I was like, I need to go to Portland because I need to experience something different. Yeah. And I remember this was like my big driving force. And then I get there, and I'm not even gonna lie, I feel so out of place. I am not having fun. Yeah. I'm putting on so many different personas to like be accepted. I don't even know who I want to accept me. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. But I just remember my first year of college, I was so lost. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was crazy. Yeah. And I did make so many amazing friends. But yeah, wow. It was just my first time being exposed to white people. Yeah. What? On a grand scale.
And then you meet an Asian girl, and then you realize that she's just white.
I know.
She's just.
I was like, yes!
You're like an Asian person, and then I start talking. No, because people do like see me, and then they hear me talk. They hear me start talking. They're like,
I don't know.
They're like, what the fuck?
I don't know when I clocked that you were whitewashed. I can't remember.
Immediately. Yeah. How do you know when someone's whitewashed?
Oh my god, what is the brand of the jean?
Levi's?
I think when I saw like your full like Levi shorts wardrobe, I knew that you were white.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Interesting.
So in regards to being adopted, do you feel like it shows up a lot like in your nervous system when you're dealing with, say, work, friends, or relationship?
Mm-hmm. Yes. I feel like I still have like a really hard time like controlling my emotions. Okay. And like I feel things very, very, very intensely. Like, a lot of things feel end-all, be-all to me. Like, when things happen to me, I'll give it more specific, like, especially when it's with my parents. Like, so, when I was little, like, I used to have really bad tantrums. Like, really bad. I would hit my head, throw myself against the wall, cry until I threw up, like, black out, like, really bad. Like, there's
like fully freak
destructive, like, tantrums. Wow. And so, that was, like, as a little kid, like, it's hard to control your emotions. And that, like, the tantrums never ended in a way that people think. They just turned into like adult versions of tantrums. Really? And like I don't have like tantrums where it's like I'm throwing myself against the wall, but like I feel so heavily like things just like feel like apocalyptic. Like it's hard for me to like control emotions like when it comes to like a lot of different things. Like one of the main ones is just when I have an expectation I'm let down. Like it feels like the worst thing ever. Like, and so I think that that's one of the biggest ways that I see it still in my nervous system is like there's just some emotions that for some reason just feel too big to hold when it's like really something that normal or people that didn't go through like infant trauma like would just be like, okay, I'm upset for a little bit and then I get over it. But for me, I just feel like the world is ending.
I remember that night that me and my friends came over and like one of my friends was mad at us. I remember the next day, so like the backstory, we talked about it, like we basically blacked and it was a terrible night. You texted me, like I could tell that you were like I could tell you were like feeling upset. Really anxious.
Yeah.
That like me, my friends were mad at you, this and that. Like something very small and very like understandable that happened. Like in your head, you were like, oh my god, like they probably all hate me, blah blah blah. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like you're fine.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
Like it's not a big deal at all. But like your nervous system was telling you like, like do you feel like that's like abandonment trauma?
Yeah, I think so. Like it's just fear of like people not liking me or like that I like messed up, I think. But yeah, that's true. After that, I felt so like I drove all the way to Orange County to drop off someone's medicine because I thought I was like in.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like but yeah, that is a like a good example of like an everyday thing that like feels so much heavier for me. Like so, there's that, and then the other thing is just like not being able to walk away from bad situations with men in particular. Like I don't have the same line that people draw like when it comes to being treated bad. I don't have the same like if a guy treated me like absolute shit, like I'll still go back like to it because it's like this form of like feeling
anxious
like
attachment.
Yeah, it's super bad anxious attachment, and it's like this feeling of like not feeling like it's this familiar feeling of not being enough and like something. So I don't know how to describe it other than like familiarity kind of feels like home. So when I like find people that like treat like that breadcrumb me or like is like back and forth or like they're not fully in it with me, it starts feeling like this intense thing where it's like, oh, this is my person, like I need them, and then I'll go at it like in a really emotional way, like intense, and then they keep doing the same patterns. And that's something where after it happens so many times and like seeing my other like friends that don't have that, like being able to walk away after like, I mean, not everyone's perfect, but it's like after a few times they're like, all right, I'm done. Like I didn't have that ability. Like I don't have that natural instinct. Like my body like is more powerful than my mind. So it's like my mind will be like, oh, this sucks. Like this is horrible. I feel horrible. But then my body like reacts faster than my mind can process it and be like, you need this. Like,
you're still like, no, please. I need the comfort. I like something in your.
It's like an addictive feeling of like I need this, and that's what's been really like challenging for me, like navigating dating and stuff. So yeah, intense emotions, really hard to control them, and adult relationships I think are the two biggest ways that my nervous system,
romantic relationships,
where my nervous system still remembers the adoption, like abandonment. Not only was I like abandoned as a almost 3-month-old, like left on the street, but then I lived in an orphanage for 1.5 years, where in the orphanage that I lived in, they didn't have enough money to have like any sort of foster system, so it was only to caretakers, and they like rotated.
Overcrowded.
Yeah, it was overcrowded. I shared a crib with another baby, so I didn't have that like constant reinforcement, that constant care, and I think that really like jolted my nervous system, because I was like doing research on like how like the first 2 years of brain development, how it's so important and how it reinforces safety like in a human being.
Our nervous system is built rapidly as we're infants.
Exactly. And because I didn't have that, like that's where I'm seeing some wounds in me that like I'm like, oh shit, I'm not like,
they're still playing out.
Yeah, they're still playing out, and it just does make me feel like, okay, I'm not the same. Because there's so many times where I see like friends that know what they deserve. They're able to walk away from tough situations. They're able
get the ick and be like, bye.
Yeah, they get the ick, they'll be like, bye. Or like they find people that love them, that like love them for who they are, like love them for, like want to get to know them more. And that's like unfathomable to me to like even think about. One, someone loving me for who I am and like that, but also two, to like be able to just be so like healed and healthy to just walk away from a hard situation. That's something like, it's hard for my brain to comprehend that that's a way that people are able to do it, you know? So it's interesting.
So you feel like your mind, stemming from your nervous system, has been trained to think like, I need to overcompensate, I need to overachieve, I need to be whatever this person needs in order to be loved, because as you are, you don't yet feel like you are enough. And up here you know that. Yeah. But your wires are still like crossed.
Yeah, they're still crossed, exactly.
That makes sense.
So, yeah.
And I can totally relate to that. I told you this quote that I found. This quote
share it.
Rocked my shit, guys. And this quote goes, I don't know who said it, I'm sorry. But this is what the quote is like. It says, if you lock a child in a closet and then you leave, obviously they're going to be like screaming and begging for you. And, you know, you take so long to come back. By the time you come back, you could literally come back in the form of like a fucking rat or a cockroach. You could come back just disgusting and malformed, and the child will still cling onto you and treat you and love you like you are God, because they have been without for so long now. They have been starved from comfort, care, companionship for so long. They will take whatever is presented to them and treat it like God.
That's a really good example.
Dude, it rocks my shit.
Yeah.
Because I can relate to a lot of the things that you felt too, but it's kind of interesting because I know both abandonment and heartbreak, and I also know like obsessive love. Like the love that my grandparents have for me has always been absolutely obsessive. I was sheltered. They were very overprotective. I would have tantrums just to like leave the house, just to go to the movies or like a school event. So that was painful in different ways, but like I feel like I grew up in this way where if someone didn't show me obsessive love, I instantly thought like, okay, they don't love me. If they don't show me obsessive love.
Yeah.
But because of that, I've run into situations where I have fallen and dated people who have become extremely controlling. And
because you think it, and is the controllingness like it feels like obsessive love sort of to you?
Yes.
So that's like why, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's like only because you care and love me so much, like that's why you want to control me. So it's like other people who have wanted to love me in a more healthy way, I have not found myself attracted to them. Yeah,
that makes sense.
And I feel like I'm at a point now where because I had such a bad experience falling in love and dating someone who became so controlling, I know that I bowed down to them because of my experience just having obsessive love. I'm very icked out by it, and like I just can't do it now. But I'm seeing this other side where I feel like my nervous system is leaning more into the abandonment wounds. And I notice a pattern where people who love me in a very healthy way, like they don't want to control me, they're not love bombing me, they're just honestly naturally good people, but you know, they just want to be with me. I'm not attracted to it.
Yeah.
And then there are people who are breadcrumbing me.
Right.
Are, you know, giving me the bare minimum. They're showing, expressing love, and then they're pulling back, and then they're coming and pulling back. I'm finding myself attracted to that.
Yeah.
Where obviously I'm like, okay, where's the ick?
Right.
This is where the ick needs to come in to save me and protect me, but instead I'm like being attracted to that.
Yeah.
And it's totally just abandonment wounds showing up again in our adulthood.
It's true. Yeah. Because I mean, it is fucked. Because I feel like anyone that has had any sort of childhood trauma, if you will, or something like anything, it all translates to like it all like I have a friend that's had completely different trauma than me, and she has the same abandonment wounds where it's like just going towards like the breadcrumbing and the toxic. It's like people that have that type of, I don't know, like, but it's that like we all experience the same type of like wound where that's what we are attracted to because that's what we're familiar to, or that's
what our nervous system knows.
Yeah, that's what our nervous system knows, which is really interesting.
It's really fucked up.
It's fucked.
More on that another time. Yeah. Anyways, when you think about your birth mother or your birth parents now as an adult, like with all the growth and learning that you have done about your trauma, what feelings do you have like towards her or your parents?
It's a good question, because I think a lot of people think that like I can't speak for all Chinese adoptees, but I feel like a lot of people think that like me personally, like I have sort of this like deep feeling towards like my biological parents.
Yeah.
But the truth is they could be a stranger on the street. I don't care that much about them. Like I don't think about them ever.
Yeah.
I don't like I like a question I got asked was like, do I have like animosity towards them, or like am I at peace for like the decision that they made? And like to answer that in two parts, like one, do I have animosity? I feel like animosity like assumes that I had resentment towards them, and I never did, because I think like growing up, like I always grew up with the story in my head that like I was loved because I was 3 months old when I was abandoned, which means that they kept me for almost 3 months. And because I always grew up around the narrative of the one child policy, of that like they had no choice, like, and it was culturally they just wanted a boy because of being able to take care of the family, I didn't really take it personal, like that they didn't want me. Like it was just that they didn't want a girl. And I think also another piece of the puzzle of that is like why I'm not sad that this happened, or like why I'm not sad that I was abandoned, is that like my parents like mean the world to me, as you know, and like I'm so grateful that they raised me and that I have them. Like I can't think of like my life without them.
Yeah.
And my mom, like I talk about this on my TikTok, but my mom like always had trouble dating too. Like, and she like came to the conclusion eventually that she'll never like find someone that loved her and like will never have a child. She would tell me like stories of how she like stalked someone to like make them love her.
What?
Which like breaks my heart. It wasn't my dad, no.
Oh shit.
Which like breaks my heart because like I love my mom is like I love her. And so that the fact that she was able to like one meet my dad, but two like have the opportunity to have a child, like it like makes me so beyond like grateful and happy that happened. So like I don't
That's
it's
beautiful.
more the story more revolves around my parents than like my biological parents. Like again, I don't think about them. The only things I thought about this sounds so like shallow, but I'm like, oh, so my dad must be short, like short king. And then two, I'm like, what do they look like?
Are you calling him out?
Yeah, I'm like, what man gives birth to
know Asians are tiny.
Yeah,
But can you explain the one-child policy law in China and like what that exactly means?
Yeah, I'm no expert, but I've learned a lot more recently, like of like the technical terms. So basically, the one-child policy, I think it lasted for 20 to 30 years, and basically there was like an overgrowth of like population in China, and it was just they could not keep populating people, so they had a policy where it was illegal to have more than one child. And so if you did have more than one child, you would get in trouble. And I don't know like the politics behind it.
Could you pay the government to keep your second child?
I don't think so. No. Because they wanted to like curb they wanted to like shrink the population and like curb the population growth. So that happened, and the reason why it was the one-child policy, it was almost all girls that were abandoned, very little boys, is because in Chinese culture, the boys will stay and take care of the family, and the girls like marry into the guy's family. Culturally, like I feel like they really value family and like helping out with the family and like respect your elders and stuff. Like everyone just wanted boys, like no one wanted girls,
dude. And like in every Asian culture, I swear the families always favor the boys. To me, I'm just like, I mean, I don't know, when I look at my own family and like the people around me, it's always the women that are actually taking care of the household. I don't know what that's all about.
I don't know what that's all about.
And now there's not enough women in China.
Yeah, so now there's a huge shortage
for women in China.
Yeah, so there's a huge shortage of women in China. When I went back to China when I was 12, I was proposed to on the street like 4 times.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
12?
Yeah.
Wait, were these men like your age or adults?
They were adults. So that's how bad it is now, like the uneven ratio of men to women. Yeah, it's fucked.
I can't wrap my head around that. Jesus Christ.
There's way too many men.
Oh
they fucked up bad. They really did.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened. So basically, literally like the stereotypical like Chinese adoptee story. I recently learned that like a lot of like kids were also killed like in it too, because you would get in trouble. Like it was illegal. But a lot of families, when they had a girl, they would leave that girl somewhere like in a public place to be taken. And so that was like my story, like left in a basket. Like, it's like the stereotypical left in a basket in a public place, taken to the orphanage, and then that's where I think like 350,000 girls were adopted internationally in China during the one-child policy. And so a lot of other like Chinese adoptees too, like another really, really common narrative is like wondering if we have siblings, because there's a high likelihood that I do have a brother out there just due to everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, do we have siblings? I know someone, I met someone recently on TikTok who reunited with her sister. And they were born
from China?
From China.
Oh my god. How
did
they find each other?
On DNA tests, which I've done DNA tests. People always ask me if I've done DNA tests, and I've said a million times I have. No one's related to me. Same. So, no one yet. But yeah, they like reunited, and they're 1 year apart, which makes sense because their family was trying to have a boy. So they had that person, that girl, abandoned that girl, tried again, and then so they were a year apart, which is interesting too, because I've heard other stories like of other girls that were like literally abandoned days after they were born, or like weeks after they were born, which is like crazy. And then so they were also adopted way earlier too, but like it's interesting, and that's why I have that narrative of like, and maybe that's why I don't have as much animosity, is just because I was like honestly on the older side of like being abandoned. So maybe they were like considering like keeping me. I don't fucking know.
Stop,
but I'll send you the picture of my
your birth parents?
No, I don't know my birth parents. I have a picture of a picture of me abandoned, like the day I was abandoned, the outfit I was wearing when I was abandoned, and
send it to me.
There's a picture. Insert.
The way that your parents framed the story about you being adopted, was very like positive.
Yeah, it was very positive, and because I'm so close with my parents today, like if I met my biological parents, like I don't know, like
how do you feel?
It wouldn't be like a thing where it's like, oh, now I have two sets of parents. They're just people. They're just people in this world. People. Yeah.
Okay. So now, let me share about my father. I've never met my dad.
Actually, that's false. You have met him.
No, I haven't.
Oh, that's true.
What?
I was gonna say because like you had to have met him, but I forgot that like he doesn't. That men don't give birth.
You were like, oh, he was definitely at your birth or something. Yeah. No.
That's kind of what I.
The story that I got was.
Tell me the story.
Bruh.
What's
okay.
Your story?
So first of all, I grew up not having a dad, right?
Yeah.
And I go my entire childhood literally not knowing anything about the story about like my father or his relationship with my mother, because I guess my mom, she was, I don't want to share too much because it's my story, but it's also her story, and I just want to respect that. But it was dark days, okay? And my family, the general consensus was like, don't talk about it. So anytime that I would ask about it, or like maybe my cousins would be like, hey, like, where's your dad? What's up? Literally, all the adults would be like, shh, shh.
Yeah.
Which I hated.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, as children, like, we're naturally curious.
Right.
And to not have a story to attach to all the emotions that not only I'm feeling, but I'm seeing, like, my mother feeling, the people around me are feeling, like, it was very confusing.
Yeah.
And, like, I'll never forget, I think it was the hardest for me in preschool. Because preschool, I mean, number one, that's when my memory started to kick in. It's like, I can remember being a preschooler. But two, it's like, you know, family, attachments, it's everything to us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're being thrust into like society, going to school for the first time.
Yeah.
And I just remember like seeing these little girls with their dads, like their dads would pick them up and give them piggyback rides. And like I had good male figures in my life, my grandpa and my uncles, but obviously like I wasn't calling anyone dad.
Yeah.
So seeing like these little girls with their fathers, I distinctly remember feeling so jealous.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, I was so fucking jealous. I was like, what's that like? That must be nice,
yeah.
You know? And like I just always wondered, like, why isn't my dad here? And it wasn't something that I was able to talk about.
Yeah.
And when I did muster up the courage to finally like ask my grandparents and my mother, I saw what an emotional toll like it took on my mom to even just talk about it with me. That I would immediately like shut it down. Yeah. I remember one time in the 3rd or 4th grade, I was in the car with my mom and she asked me, hey, I heard from the grandparents that you have been asking questions about your dad, and I know we haven't talked about it, like I'm sorry, but you can meet him if you want to. Like he's in town or something like that. And I remember my heart just beating like 200 beats a minute. Like everything inside of me just like went into like alert mode. Cause imagine like wanting to know about something so bad your entire life and then you finally get the opportunity.
Yeah.
But as the conversation was being had, like my mom was doing her best to just show me like, hey, like if this is something you want, you can have it.
Right.
But like I have always been very attuned to the emotions of everyone around me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to fill in the gaps. We know why.
Yeah.
So I've always been very attuned to like everyone's emotions, and I was very attuned to her emotions, and I could tell how much it was hurting her to even just like talk about this with me. And I know, okay, let's not say I know, but my intuition as a young child, what do I know, was that she didn't want me to meet him.
Mm-hmm. Like she kind of made it like, oh, like you can do it if you want.
Yeah.
It wasn't, yeah.
And I'm like, dude, no one in the house could even talk about it with me. So obviously I knew like what the stance was on this guy.
Right.
Tears are welling up on both sides. It's tense. And I just go, no, it's okay. I don't want to meet him. And that's the whole conversation until 15 years later. That's
Holy
fucking
shit.
Crazy to me.
Yeah.
I don't think I've even really unpacked that, but like that's the whole conversation until I go to college. And my mom helps me move into my dorm. The night before she leaves, she takes me to a really nice dinner, and we're sitting down, and she opens up Pandora's box, and she's like, hey, let's talk about your dad. And I'm like, whoa, okay.
Like,
yeah.
Sure.
I grew up being very avoidant because of all these things.
Yeah.
Okay, we're at this nice dinner. First of all, I wish this conversation didn't happen in public, because I just felt like I had to keep such a face on.
Yeah.
And then over dinner, she tells me everything. And essentially, she's like, you know, he's not a really good guy. And the day that you were born, like, I told him, like, hey, like, I'm giving birth this day. Like, you can be there. You can meet your daughter. Apparently, he said he was going to come, and then he canceled last minute to go on a ski trip with his brother. Full of shit. You just didn't want to come.
Yeah.
And that of all excuses, I can't.
Yeah.
whatever the reason was.
Even trash.
Yeah, whatever the reason was, whatever, whoever that man is, I feel like because the story was framed to me in a way that was so, like, negative, I do have feelings towards him. And even like, from my grandparents. Like, they basically adopted me. And, like, the story growing up was, like, and I love them. They gave me everything in life. I don't know what I'd do without them. Yeah. But more than one emotion can exist at once. The story that was framed to me was very negative and sort of like, this is why we have to take care of you. You know? Yeah. Like
he's the reason why, basically?
Him and my mom. Uh-huh. Like, I think there was a lot of villainizing from, like, all ends. Yeah. And so I learned how to basically, like, gauge emotions and try to, like, control emotions, like, from a very young age. Because there was a lot of emotions hitting me. And even just between, like, my grandparents and my mom, like, they never got official custody, but, like, unofficially they had custody. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But there was just so much animosity and villainizing and just, like, narratives that I don't even know what's true and what's not floating around. Mm-hmm. And so because of that, I do feel a type of way towards that man.
Like resentment and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Because not even just for, like, how I had to feel growing up, but just for the pain that I witnessed with my mother. Yeah. And I know there's two sides to every story. Yeah. But I got to witness, like, the burden that she carried from not having a partner with her. Right. So.
Yeah, I mean, the consequences that other people had to deal with because of his actions or whatever the case was. His absence, yeah. And he's never tried to, like, reach out to you or find you?
My mom said that he has. Huh. But.
So I'm sure he knows your first and last name.
Dude, it's so crazy because since that conversation that we had when she, like, this is 6 years ago? Mm-hmm. Since that conversation 6 years ago at that restaurant, we have not spoken about it. Mm-hmm. And I have not had a positive or, like, open relationship with my mother until this year. Mm. Until 2025 is when we actively...
Right, because she came to visit you in Vietnam.
Yeah. Yeah. But, like, until then, like, we had not worked on our relationship in a way that actually worked. Yeah. But I feel like we both grown a lot. So I feel like my steps right now are, like, continue healing my relationship with my mother. Right. And then whatever comes in the future, in terms of meeting my dad or that side of the family, who knows? But I do have a game plan. And I tell this to everyone.
What's your game plan?
It really excites me. Yeah.
Show up at his door one day?
Well, okay. I'm going to get really famous, obviously. I'm very successful, very famous, and then a TV show, a documentary-style TV show, detective show, whatever, they're going to contact me, or maybe my publicist will set it up, whatever, and we will do a documentary-style episode or movie about finding my dad. And we will find him, and it will be on camera. My purpose with all of this is, when I meet him, whether it goes good or it goes badly, I will get to monetize off of it.
Okay. Period.
I feel that way about a lot of things in my life, and I have no problem admitting that. Yeah. Because we're going to feel the pain regardless. Right. I might as well make some money on this.
Document it, too. Yeah.
That's my game plan. Okay. Maybe you'll be in a place where, like, you know, you're interested too. And we do a double whammy.
Find our dads.
We can both find our parents.
I mean, if I find my parents tomorrow or in 10 years, I don't give a shit. So whenever you're ready to find your dad, I'll just hop on that bandwagon.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Series of us trying to find our parents.
Love it.
Except two of them live in China. Okay, yeah. Well, that's really interesting.
I know. That's my story.
I didn't know a lot of that stuff about you.
Really?
I knew you didn't know your dad, obviously, but I didn't know the extra parts, yeah.
Okay, something, too, that we can relate on is, you know how you grew up knowing that, like, yeah, you're adopted, you're other, but, like, it didn't really hit you and you didn't start unpacking it until in, like, recent years? Yes. Literally same with me. Because I remember being a senior and I'm applying for all these colleges. My AP Lit teacher pulls me aside and she shows me my essays and she's like, love you, these are okay, but, like, I'm not getting a sense of who you are. And she starts digging. Yeah. And she's like, what's your upbringing? What was it like? And then she's like, what? Your grandparents raised you? You don't know your father? And she was like, why don't you write about that? That's so meaningful. And I kid you not, like, I just stared at her straight in the face, blank, and I was like, write about what? I mean, like, yeah, those things are true, but, like, I don't have anything to write about that. Like, I'm fine. Yeah. I was fully convinced that I was fine. Like, I never once said that I was abandoned by either parent. Yeah. Like, I completely just, like, there was fog over my, like, mind. Yeah. Because I just wanted to fit in. I just wanted to be normal. I didn't want to be, like, this kid with a sad story.
Yeah. Or, yeah, exactly.
But we're all kids with sad stories.
True.
So it's better to be real about it and find your community.
Well, it's better to, I feel like it's better to know it, so then you learn more about yourself, so then you don't repeat, like, any patterns, or, like, you're more self-aware of, like, the stuff that's self-destructive in your life. Because, like, at the end of the day, like, everyone that has these types of issues, it's, like, self-destructive in one way or another, so.
It is.
And I don't.
When you're unaware of your pain, it becomes, you develop so many maladaptive behaviors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want that to prevent us from achieving what we want to achieve in life.
We're going to achieve a lot. But you know what we both did too?
What?
I mean, so, yeah, we can relate on, like, sort of putting it away, like, the trauma. We both put ourselves in extremely unsafe situations as young people.
Yeah.
I
just wrote that chapter about
That's the chapter?
Yeah, about the unsafe situations I put myself through. Yeah.
And that's the version of you that I met.
Yeah.
That was still, like, putting herself in really unsafe situations.
Yeah.
Like,
that's true. I didn't think about that.
Dude, when I was a high schooler, I would sneak out of my house. I would be walking in these empty, dark streets at night, alone. I would be getting into dudes' cars that were, like, 5-6 years older than me. I literally lost my virginity to, when I was 14 years old, to someone who was, like, 20 years old. I was just doing the stupidest things.
Yeah, I know. It is crazy to think about the situations that, we put ourselves through. Like, with older men, with, like, substances, just to, like...
Feel something?
Like, for me, it was just to prove that, like, I was, like, cool and, like, not different.
Because I wanted to fit in so badly.
Yeah, I always felt behind in life on different things. So, like, of course, like, I forced myself to lose my virginity, like, really early, and then...
Wait, literally same.
Yeah.
What age did you lose
13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked at losing my virginity, having sex as something to just get over with.
Yeah. That's what I did too.
That's crazy.
And then, like, with the older men, like, getting into cars, like, one of my first, like, sexual experiences was with someone who was 24, and I think I was 12 or 11. So, yeah.
No, you're lying. How did you even meet them?
He DM'd me on Instagram. That was when DM culture was huge.
Oh,
and so I had a lot of older men DM me on Instagram. And this one in particular, he drove outside my house. I got in his car. Yeah.
And that was your first time?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I was 12 and he was 24. And then I saw him when I was like 17 or 18 again. Not like saw randomly? Him like that, but just randomly in public. And I was like, holy shit.
Did you say, like, hi?
No.
Yeah.
Because that's illegal. Like, what he did was so illegal, and, like, I don't hold animosity towards him at all.
That's literally rape.
Yeah. I don't hold animosity towards him, but because it wasn't, like, in a situation where it was, like, I was, like, I did it, not just, like, I did it to myself, but, like, I wanted to do it, because, like, I thought I wanted to, but, yeah, like, he's obviously knew that like, I'm 24 now, like,
dude!
Yeah, getting into a car with, like, an 11 or 12-year-old, like, is crazy. Yeah, it's like,
okay, even though you knew what you were doing, or, like, in the moment you felt like, this is what I want, obviously these laws exist for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You're not developed, you're literally still a child.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
That's terrible.
I know.
Fuck that, man.
I know, yeah. Yeah, it's just crazy.
Also, that's nothing to be ashamed of on your part.
Yeah. It is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
And it does make me feel a little bit uncomfortable, because it's not that I do feel a little bit ashamed, because I'm like, why did I do that? Like,
and also society loves to put the blame on women.
Yeah, some of the shit that I did, I'm like, why would I put myself through that? Like, what was, like, it's just crazy, because there's, like, been situations, and I talk about this in my book, I only share a handful of situations but it's, like, one where I was, like, in this, like, guy's, like, he lived in the back of, like, his parents had a guest house, and he lived in it. He definitely, I don't know how old he was, but he was, like 18 or something, and I was obviously underage. Yeah. And, like, I got so high to the point where I, like, didn't know if I should feel, like, scared, safe, whatever. And then I just, like, I would keep going, like, to his house and, like, obviously doing that type of stuff, and, like, I felt like shit, and I just did it anyway, like. And at the time, though, it felt like more of an adrenaline rush, like, oh, okay, I did this, like, it was like I accomplished this. But now, like, I'm like, that's just fucked up, like.
I used to look at it the exact same way.
It's just embarrassing, because let me just tell you, none of my friends were doing that shit, like.
Yeah.
So obviously there was something, like, off, like, with me, and, like, when I learned about, like, how, like, kids that have similar upbringings to us, like, are way more likely, like, there's a higher likelihood that this type of stuff is to happen, like, we're more vulnerable to different types of these types of situations, that, like, it makes a lot more sense, because, yeah, I didn't have friends that were going into 24-year-olds' cars and, like, doing shit, like, it's one thing, like, getting these messages, and then it's another thing, like, acting on those messages, like.
Yeah.
So. Bruh. Yeah, and you knew me when I was doing that shit. Like, I was, like, hooking up with guys every single weekend, like, going to people's apartments, like...
Yeah.
I would never do... Well, never say never, but I'm not doing that to the extent as I was. And I'm an adult now, so...
Yeah. But also, it's like, okay, say if you wanted to do that now, and this is just hypothetical, but I'm like, as a powerful woman, as the boss bitch that you are, like, if you wanted to do that again, after all the healing that you've done, like, at least you're just doing it from a place of you just want to do it.
Yeah.
And, like, you're allowed to.
Right.
Because why the fuck not? And, like, fuck slut-shaming.
Yeah.
Girl, like, we're human bodies.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy ourselves. But obviously, like, when we're younger doing those things, I remember having full-on anxiety attacks before these guys would, like, pick me up. Because I was doing stupid shit when I was in high school, too. Like I said, like, the sneaking out and, like, losing my virginity to someone that was so much older.
Yeah.
It's also considered statutory rape.
Right.
Like, I remember getting full-on anxiety attacks because my body didn't want to do these things.
Yeah. I felt the same. I didn't have anxiety attacks, but
you felt,
my body...
like, scared.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And it's, like, sometimes I would cancel, but sometimes I would, like, go through with it and just, like, meet people.
Yeah.
And...
That is true. I forgot about that feeling beforehand.
And
it's
like,
not a good feeling.
It's your body telling you, like, hey, what's going on, babe? Like, we don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But same thing, like, my mind would be like, literally, I would be so mean to myself. Like, if I would cancel or get anxious, I'd be like, you're a pussy. The fuck does that even mean? What?
Yeah,
like,
you
baby, you're 14 years old.
Yeah.
You're 14, 15 years old. You shouldn't be sneaking out at 12 a.m. to meet up with this guy that has already graduated high school or is in college. Like, baby, we don't have to be doing all that.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, the psychology behind it, from, like, being abandoned, feeling unsafe, and also, like, oh my god, who knows if this is gonna make it, but we're just talking right now. I have a history of being sexually assaulted as a child. And so I became sexual at a very, like, young age. And, like, I feel like this needs to be a whole other episode, so we can't even really get into it. We can't
get into it because maybe we need to do a part 2 with eating disorders. The eating disorders part is a huge part of our upbringing as well.
So much.
No, the eating disorder part is, like, a huge... It's, like...
There's so many parallels.
Eating disorders and self-love and love. Like, that's, like, those are huge pillars of, like, our beginnings.
Okay, we're definitely gonna have a part 2.
Yeah, we'll have to do a part 2 because we can't get into all of it. But that is interesting because I don't think we've ever spoken about, like, putting ourselves into unsafe situations because it's a huge part of it. Yeah, it's a huge part of it. I never spoke about that, like, ever, like, because it's, like, embarrassing to me to, like,
because we're taking the blame, but it's like the blame does not belong with us. We're children. Like, what do we know?
Yeah, it's just embarrassing to me that there was some type of emptiness where I felt like I needed to do that because I had so many friends where it was like they would never ever do that. So I'm like, why did I feel like I needed to do that? And then we have the answer.
Go through the same.
Yeah, we have the answer to that, sort of. So, but like,
and I think
I'm telling, like, I don't know anyone that did the same thing unless they were like, maybe like you, the same as us.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a lot of friends growing up that had that type of trauma.
Yeah.
Like, I actually didn't. So yeah.
And I think the beautiful thing is that we did find each other.
Yeah.
And we can validate each other. Like, hey, I did similar things because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Part of my upbringing. And, like, just sharing this message, like, hopping on a podcast and speaking so vulnerably.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's so many people out there that went through the same thing, that also put themselves in unsafe situations. And, like, this is how community is built.
True. That's true.
It's how love and acceptance is fostered.
I wasn't expecting to talk about that.
Me either.
Which is good.
I love this.
That's a whole different... Everything that you bring up, though, is stuff that I've covered in my book, which is interesting because I feel like you're reading my mind.
What?
But it's only because we have such similar, like, it's not you reading my mind, it's you just telling your story, and then it's, like, the same as mine. Yeah, which is so interesting.
I can't wait to read your book.
Yeah.
I'm literally so excited.
Oh,
dude, we're gonna be, like, crazy successful. I just know it.
Thank you.
We already are.
Thank you for us. Yeah, we are. I need to process all this now so I have more time to just be successful. Because if I don't talk about this, then that's gonna be, like, the reason I'm not successful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And success, I mean, okay, success to me is obviously number one, being stable, you know, and we have such big dreams that we are working towards, like building, creating companies, creating community, creating a brand. But that's also being healthy in our self-love, in our relationships, in whatever life we build for ourselves. And if you don't work through the trauma, you're not going to get there.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to get there, or it's going to take you a lot longer to get there. And you're going to have to work. The thing is, like, when we're young, like, right now, like, we don't have, like, families, kids, or anything that, like...
Can't focus on ourselves.
Yeah. But it's, like, I would never want to, like, have to work through this trauma, like, while I have, like, kids, or, like, while I have, like, a baby daddy that I have to, like, also keep in mind, or anything where the stakes are way... Yeah, it's going to make the healing way a lot slower. It's going to make it a lot more difficult. Like, I just can't do that to myself, you know? Like, We can't do that. Like, it's just like, it's too, like, life is just too short. Like, I don't want to be 45 and unpacking everything I'm unpacking now. When you're going through, like, all of this, like, self-work, like, everyone has to have, like, a why of like, the people that have dedicated themselves to doing it has to, like, have come to some type of conclusion that they want something. Because it's like, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't force them to drink it, right? And to be able to do the work, you have to have a bigger reason for it.
It's like, when you know your potential, the work becomes easy.
Yeah. So, like, for me, like, it's that fear of, like, I cannot be, like, in a situation where, like, I'm, like, 45 and, like, still exhibiting these behaviors, but my parents are not on this planet anymore, and I don't have kids. Like, that's just too much for me to bear.
Too much trauma to be working through all at once.
When I could have done all this shit now, which is what I'm doing it now. Like, working through it now because it's too much.
When you enter a relationship, when you do have kids, I haven't reached that point, but it's like, I've been through relationships. Every time, like, I fall in love with someone or they fall in love with me, dude, parts of my trauma that I didn't even know existed just get peeled back.
Yeah.
And so it's like, while we are single and we have all this energy and, like, capacity to, like, figure our shit out. Yeah, I do think it's the smartest move to focus on that, because whoever enters your life, it's like, it's a whole new batch of things that you're gonna have to, like, learn. And heal.
Yeah, exactly. So,
okay.
That's our why.
That's our why.
For doing this now.
I want to ask you, focusing more on our lives right now and the women that we have become, that we are becoming, what has helping build a startup from the ground up taught you about yourself and just entering, like, adulthood or the workforce?
Honestly, I think, well, like, when I entered, like, the workforce, I feel like I entered in a very, like, non-traditional work environment where, like, when you work for a startup, it's, like, very cutthroat, like, because when you're working for a startup, you have to do everything. Like, you have to wear so many hats, but then you also, like, you do higher level stuff and, like, entry level stuff all at the same time. And I feel like what I've learned a lot through, like, working there is, like, we've tried to hire, like, a lot of executive people that come in and are so lost because they only know, like, how to manage perfect systems that are already in place. Like, they would not know how to, like, build a system from the ground up or, like, improve systems. Like, they just know how to maintain stuff. And I think that, like, that's the biggest thing I've learned about me is, like, it's not very common for a working professional to be able to do so many things and also be able to build things from the ground up and start from scratch and, like, build efficient operations and, like, what can I say? Just kidding. But I think that it takes a special person to be able to do that. It really does. Like, I've seen so many professionals that, like, in a corporate world, the higher a professional gets up, the less work they have to do, and they get really comfortable. And so when push comes to shove, they won't have to do any of that lower level work. And then, like I said, when they come into a startup and they're suddenly an executive, but they also have to wear so many hats and do that, like,
system building. Yeah,
and do that lower level work as well. They're not going to be able to be successful. So I really think that, like, the startup one, it, like, brought out all of my biggest strengths because I've always been someone that's multifaceted in so many ways of, like, I mean, like, I'm a numbers person. Like, I've got a math degree, got a finance degree, but I'm also, like, have, like, a natural eye for design or whatever. So it, like, brought out all of that because I got the opportunity to do all of that.
Yeah.
But it also just, like, when you're in a startup, like, it's really, you get what you put in. And I feel like I'm thrive in that type of environment where, because I always put, like,
you got that dog in you.
Yeah, like, I always put in, like, 110% of, like, what I do. Like, I always try to strive for the highest, like, achievement. Like, in college, like, I graduated with, like, a 3.98, like, GPA, like, almost perfect, because A- is counted against your GPA, by the way. And so, that translated into my working experience. And so, in that startup, like I said, it was non-traditional. I learned everything you need to know about a company. I had a minor in entrepreneurship and innovation, and I was an e-scholar, which is an entrepreneur scholar at UP. So I learned about entrepreneurship, but learning, as everyone knows, learning about something and doing something is completely different.
Learning without application is nothing.
Yeah. So this is, like, the real application of it. Like, the way we've scaled the business is, like, unheard of. Like, I'm not going to go into, like, the business and the numbers, but it's very uncommon for a startup. So
really,
yeah, we can talk about it later in the numbers, the scaling of it. But yeah, it's really just, like, I feel so lucky to have had that opportunity. And like I told you, like we talked about with opportunities, a lot of people say, like, oh, you're so lucky that you got of course, like, you get the perfect job out of college and all of that. And
luck didn't apply
to 2,000 jobs. Luck didn't have a 4-page resume. Luck didn't graduate top 5% of the class. Like, so it's like, I feel so grateful that I was able to get a job that was so perfect for me. Like, I could not have handpicked a better job for me based on skill sets, based on what I wanted to do in life and stuff. But at the end of the day, like, it was perfect for me, and I was the one who got myself there. Like, I put myself in a situation where I could get that job. So I think that the job really helped me get to the next level of understanding a business venture, seeing what I've learned being applied in the real world. And I do think that, like, if I exit this job ever, like, I'll be able to do almost everything because I've done marketing, operations, sales, supply chain, production, everything that, like, is involved, fulfillment.
It's really crazy.
So, you know, that's
the personal development.
Yeah.
That you've done while in this position is, like, extremely impressive. And I do think too, it's like because you were pushed so much in your role at your job.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it taught you, like, how capable you are truly?
Yeah.
To do
really
anything.
Yeah.
Because you are.
Thank you.
You've been proving that every day.
You.
Dude.
Thank you. I feel the same about you. But yes, I do think that because I had so much flexibility. Like I said, it's you get what you put into it. Yeah. But, like, honestly, at my company, it's a dog world. So, like, you won't last long. Like, seriously, our turnover rate is like 85%. Like, you don't last long in that if you're not an animal.
Work. Yeah.
If you're not a fucking beast.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it definitely forced me and pushed me in so many ways. Like, or else I would, like, it was like, it's either you get pushed to the maximum or you just get fired. So it's like, what choice did I have? But it also was just me as a person. Like, it wasn't hard. It was challenging, but it wasn't hard because that's just who I am. Like, that's just my character. So it wasn't anything I wasn't. So it just fed off of, like, my characteristics and my work ethic and all of that. So yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
And I'm constantly inspired by you.
I'm inspired. You guys, not to get off a different topic, but I'm inspired by Clarisse because she literally, we've been talking about content for so long, like, long before she even started posting, and she was, like, inspired me to, like, just post, like, my content, because I've posted content before. You know, I've been posting content for a long time, but not talking videos. I didn't talk about myself, very surface level, and, like, you obviously went completely out of, like, your comfort zone, quit your job. You can talk about that and stuff. I won't talk about your story, but, like, anyway, you quit your job and you just started creating content, got over 100,000 followers in, like, months. It's crazy. Like, that's so inspiring too, because you were just so authentic. Like, it wasn't like, I felt like your content that you posted was just so artistic and authentic. It wasn't like that, like gamey content that, like, is just trying to, like, rage bait stuff that's trying to get views, and, like, that really
saying I need to hit more trending content.
But that really inspired me to, like, start talking about, like, my adoption story and just talking about me, like, as a person, like, because that's kind of, like, you spoke about just you, and I feel like you showed me, like, I knew this, but I saw it from you. And I actually, in the book Let Them, Mel Robbins talks about how, like, when you see like, people that you know do it, it hits a different, like, nerve in your body because you're like, it's actually attainable. I know this person.
I think about it all the time.
And that's kind of how I felt. I was like, shit, like, you're doing this and you're being authentic. And I'm like, that's just, well, first of all, like, so happy for you because we've talked about, like, doing this, but, like, that's just so inspiring to me. And I've talked to my friends about it. Like, I have, I have a friend that's, like, trying to climb the ladder fast, and I was like, look at my friend that, like, was just posting, like, authentically and, like, got 100,000 followers, like, from just doing that, like, and, like, all you wanted to do was just connect and make a community, right? So it's easier too when you're authentic about, like, when you're just talking from, like, about yourself and stuff. Like, I've found that, like, people that, like, try to post what they think people want to see, it just, like, it's not sustainable, and it's just not, like, people can tell that it's not authentic.
They can tell when you're being fake. And, like, authenticity, like, spiritually is the highest frequency. It's above everything. So,
but yeah, I'm very inspired. So, love you.
Love you, girl. And likewise, when you were talking about your job and how the turnover rate was 85%, I couldn't help but think about working in the ER. Because, like, okay, we can talk about...
Yeah, we have completely different career paths.
When I think about my journey making content and becoming a content creator, I started when I was almost done with the ER program at my hospital. So as a new grad nurse, I started in this hospital, LA County, Trauma 1 Center. Everyone there's a badass. They see, like, crazy cases. We're talking gunshot wounds, strokes, everything under the sun. And the turnover rate of this ER, the ER has the highest turnover rate out of every department in the hospital. Because it is like...
so draining.
How do I describe this? I had heart palpitations for the first, like, 2 months I was on the floor.
That's crazy.
Straight up heart palpitations. And I would have to talk to my nurse and be like, hey, because we have a preceptor, someone that trains us. Be like, hey, I'm having again, can I go take a 5? She'd be like, yeah, girl.
Yeah, don't die.
It was crazy. I saw so many people come and go in that program. And
It's not for everyone.
If I didn't start out my career, like, as a nurse, especially in that working environment, I don't know if I'd be making content. I don't know if I would, because I used to be this person that wanted so many things, but I was like...
You were always someone that wanted so many things, but
Exactly.
I felt like you kind of got lost in a lot of those things, though. Like, it was so many things at once that it overwhelmed you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm still that person that wants so many things, but working in that hospital, in that place, taught me that, number one, life is short. Yeah. Obviously. Hello, I'm working in a hospital. Like, life is short. Make the most out of it while you can. And number two, it taught me how to stop being a little bitch. Like, straight up. Everyone in that ER was so, like, strong-willed, outspoken, because you had to be.
Right.
Like, not only are you, you know, making sure that, like, the work is fair for yourself, because they're going to keep just trying to, like, pile on the work, and sometimes it gets unsafe, but also you have to be an advocate for your patient. You're talking to family members, doctors. You're running a whole production.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot about self-development and how to carry myself and how to speak up.
Yeah.
And that gave me a lot of self-confidence to start making content.
Yeah. That's so interesting. But that makes a lot of sense, because
coming out
when
the
you're
gate,
in
we
such
had crazy, we both chose insane, like, jobs.
Yeah. Well, I would say you did. I don't know. I could never do what you did. But that makes a lot of sense, that because you saw such the most, like, dramatic, like, the highest level of, like, fleeting, like, of life and everything, like, that it made everything else seem so insignificant, like, all the, like, little fears or everything.
So much clarity.
Yeah, everything that, like, that people are, like, scared to do, or, like, you're like, shit, like, I'm seeing, like, literally lives flash before my eyes.
Literally.
So, like creating the content, if that's the scariest thing, like, I'm gonna do it, because my life is short, and, like, they're literally
I'm gonna do it while I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I have no idea who I'm trying to be. Like, I had, like, nothing is tangible, but all I know is I have an inclination to share, and you do too, and so many people out there also as well. If you have an inclination to do something, I fully believe that there's a reason you have that feeling inside of you, and you should follow that feeling. Yeah. Even if it looks crazy and stupid to everyone around you, yourself included. Just do it. Yeah. It's starting to make sense, slowly.
It is. and I feel like it has, like, I don't know if you feel this way, but, like, because now we're 24, and as soon as you graduate college, you get struck with, like, the reality that everyone's on different paths. Yeah. Which is really scary, but at the same token, like, if you're posting, like, content and stuff, like, I'm talking like I'm, like, this big content creator.
You are. We both have a million.
Like, yeah, right.
We both have a million subscribers.
Yeah. When you're posting, like, I feel like a lot of people, like, are scared, like, of what people think, and me included. Yeah. But the thing is, like, when you graduate, you're not surrounded by people every day anymore.
You can choose to stay in high school or leave high school. Yeah. That's what you're.
So I'm like, if people are seeing, like, my stuff, like, I don't know. Like, I really don't, because I'm not seeing these people. Yeah. So it's not the same anymore, where it's like, oh, I have to go to high school or college, and, like, all of these people are around me, like, that I know that they're seeing my content. Like, I mean, even that. So what? It doesn't matter. But it makes it a lot easier when you're, like, in this post-grad life where you're just, like, not even surrounded by anyone. So
that is
like,
true. And even, like, working a 9 to 5, I was kind of scared.
Yeah. Right.
Like, Clarisse, I saw your video.
But, like, pop, show it.
Ow.
But yeah.
Please, I'm going to block you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have blocked, like, multiple people that I purposely don't want to see it. So, and that's an option.
That's fine. That's your right. I want to just speed run some questions. Okay. Yep. Do you feel more Asian now than you did growing up?
No.
Okay.
I feel...
All the nervous laughter.
I've never felt Asian.
Should I make you Asian?
Yeah, make me Asian.
I'm gonna make you Vietnamese Asian.
We can do...
Whoa!
Wait, that could be so cool.
Whoa, that's a content idea. Yeah, that's a series.
Yeah, that's actually cool.
Okay,
yeah.
no, I'm so down.
You make me Asian, I'll make you white.
I don't want to be white.
Okay, you make me Asian.
I'll make you Asian.
Yeah, the Chinese trend right now is crazy. So, this is off topic. It's interesting. This could be a reel. So, so finding me a Chinese man. So there's, like, a huge thing that I just learned about called the Oxford study. Oh. And so I started posting, like, content on dating, and I got so many comments on the Oxford study. People said Oxford study, Oxford study, Oxford study. And I had no idea what that was, and I looked it up, and it's not an actual study. It's, like, an offensive thing that people say to, like, whitewashed Asian women, and it's basically just the stereotype that we only date white men, and it has to do with
not you,
not me, but it has to do with, like, it's supposed to be offensive, right? And it's supposed to be like, oh, it's because, like, these types of Asian women hate themselves, and they hate their physical features, so they're dating far from it. And so it's meant to be an offensive thing, right?
Yeah.
But when I heard about that, I was like, that's true for me though. That stereotype is true for me. Like, I don't date Asian men probably
you don't
because
find
I hate myself.
Attractive.
Yeah, because I don't think I'm like not okay.
Wow.
Let's not get dramatic, but like I don't think that I never found myself super attractive growing up. I never liked any of my Asian features, so naturally I'm tending to go completely opposite of what I look like. I don't want to date an Asian person because I'm not attracted to them because I'm not attracted to myself. So that self-love part of it, like, is so true, and that's something I need to work on. And I'm not saying this to like validate like people that are just trying to be racist, but I think there's a lot of truth behind it for me as an individual when it comes to Oxford study. So it's very interesting.
You're very self-aware.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I looked it up and it was like, oh, the hatred that Asian women have for themselves, and I was like, yeah, that's literally me. Yeah, I don't like. I had blonde hair for a while. I've worn black eyeliner every day since someone made fun of my eyes. Like, I hate everything. My nose.
My mom literally just got eyelid surgery because she hates her monolids.
Yeah.
And it made me so sad.
It's true.
I personally find it beautiful. Like, I fucking wish I had monolids. I'm not even gonna lie.
Wow.
That's so, like, Asian features are so attractive to me because that's the framing I grew up with.
True.
And then, you know,
I grew up with the opposite. Yeah. That's so interesting. So,
Jesus.
yeah. Not to get on a tangent, but
Oxford study.
Oxford.
I want to have just one closing question for the both of us.
Okay.
What do you wish someone had told you when you were 18?
You want to go first?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. What I wish someone had told me when I was 18 was, you are allowed to take up space. I have just always remembered being so afraid to ask the questions I want to ask, to take up space with my emotions. Like, growing up, everyone around me always told me that I was too sensitive. I was always too sensitive, too emotional. And there's nothing wrong with having big emotions, having tantrums, and like being sensitive. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually quite beautiful, because to be vulnerable and to have the courage to face your own emotions and then to share it, like, that is an extremely brave thing.
Yeah.
And I wish that when I was 18, someone had just let me know.
Yeah.
It's okay to be sensitive.
Yeah.
And to take up space.
Yeah.
We should all take up more space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. I have to think about this.
It could be something stupid.
Yeah.
You know,
when I was 18, I was a freshman in college. So
I wish someone had told us that, like, we don't have to get blacked to have fun.
Yeah.
It was never fun.
It
was never. I would just wake up riddled with anxiety.
Right.
Like, Emma, what happened? What did we do?
Yeah,
like,
no, seriously.
I hated it.
Yeah, especially in such a small damn school. Everyone knew everything.
Oh my god, yeah.
Bro. Yeah, that's true.
No, you don't have to get blacked to have fun. No. College girls, stop. I went to a bar recently with my coworkers. It was like sorority night or something, but it was all these young, like, 18-year-olds. We felt so old. Everyone was screaming and just, like, obviously really drunk. They seemed like they were having fun. But I mean, it brings me back to being in college and, like, thinking that I have to get obliterated and drink so much to, like, be cool, have fun, whatever. No, you don't. No, you don't.
And then when you get into your 20s, you realize that, like, it's so painful. Like, I feel like everyone in their 20s who have attempted to drink the way that they did when they were younger, the stakes are higher. The stakes are a lot. The consequences are higher, and the stakes are higher, and it's not fun.
Yeah. And no shaming. Like, if you want to just go have a
I
crazy
have
night.
Mad respect for people in their mid-20s that can still drink like that and not want to die the next day. Because I was like, oh. I got too drunk. Like, the next day,
not funny,
I was like, literally, it's not
trigger
funny.
warning.
Yeah, trigger warning. The next day, I was literally like this close to, like.
Fuck. Wait.
No, it was bad.
When?
It was like a few weeks ago.
Shit.
I just drank. The thing is, like, I drank too much, but I remember everything. But that's the thing. Like, what shifted for me in my 20s of drinking is, like, I can drink and remember everything and know I didn't do shit. Yeah. And still feel like the same weight that I felt when I, like, blacked out and probably, like, burned 10 bridges. Like, the weight is so much heavier. Like,
the burning bridges.
Yeah, it's heavier as fuck. Like, so.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know, but.
I mean, yeah, that's something great for, you know, and time is not linear. So us having this conversation now, us saying that, like, we wish 18-year-old us, like, knew, hey, you don't have to get black to have fun. I think the message is getting received.
Yeah, I think the message has,
like, the time is healing.
Right, we're learning.
We're weaving, I don't know.
We're learning from our consequences, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to wrap up, I think it is divine intervention, truly. Like, I think it's such a fated encounter that we met each other.
Yeah. I agree.
Because when we met each other, we didn't instantly know how much we had in common. It took years. It took
it
years
took
for us to get to this
now.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, our friendship was very surface level, but the thing about our friendship to me was like, there are like few people in this like world like that I meet. There's like there's a number, but it's not a lot. Where like I'll meet like you, and there's something that like makes me want to hold on to like a friendship where I feel like we get along.
We didn't live near each other. We didn't work with each other. We didn't like. There was
but there was something like special about you where I was like, I do want to like try to continue on the friendship, because we all have those friends that like, when you grow apart, you just grow apart, and it's like kind of a mutual thing. But like I feel like for me, I was like, we always got along so seamlessly, and so that was like that was like the start of it. But then like we always just continued to keep in touch no matter what, because that's what I wanted. Like there was something that I didn't even know at the time.
That's how I feel too.
Yeah, I didn't know what that pull was to you, but I was like, all I know is that like you're a special person and like you're a special friend, and I want to keep in touch.
Special friend.
You're not that.
She's the straightest person. Emma's the straightest friend that I have. Like literally.
That's why we're business partners, because like I'm telling you right now, like there's no chance that me and Clarisse will ever.
There's no chance we get together.
There's no chance we hook up. Like
thank God for that.
Thank God.
I've hooked up with way too many of my friends.
Yeah, that's not happening. And I'm like, I guarantee you that's not gonna happen.
Even I was like, you should try women.
Yeah.
She's like, no, no.
No.
It's better on the side.
Yeah, it's not, but like I don't know what I could do.
Yeah.
Never say never, but yeah. So we've evolved a lot, like as friends.
Yeah.
And we're like the type of friends I'm sure a lot of people can relate to, that like you don't talk for a really long time, and it's like nothing has changed.
Yeah.
And that's been the case for us. So I feel like that's great. Yeah.
I'm so happy. I love you though.
I love you.
This was so healing.
I know. It's just
so
interesting because we're both on such a journey.
Yeah.
With identity stuff. So it's just interesting that we've come at this time.
Yeah.
Like.
It's also because we're gonna be like multi-millionaires.
Billionaires.
Of course.
Excuse you.
I was just scared to get canceled.
Yeah, we don't have to keep that in, but
you have to do a lot of work to be the version of yourself that can hold that much of
yeah. Pitching us.
Thank you so much for watching me interview my whitewashed Asian. You're not my Asian.
And me,
I can't remember
my Asian. And me interviewing my white.
Let's walk in. Come closer. Come closer.
And me
guys.
My Asian washed white friend.
This is bad.
You guys, what she means to say is thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this podcast. Thank you for taking the time for her to interview her whitewashed Asian friend and my my white Asian washed friend.
That's a wrap. I love ya. We need to Asianify you, like for real.
Yeah.
Let's get started on that.
That's actually an idea.
Okay, on next week's episode, I take Emma to the Asian market.
On next week's episode, Clarisse takes me to Chinatown.
Let's go.